What's up, guys? Welcome to the weekly technicals for Sunday, June 9th, 2019, and we're currently looking at the economic calendar for this upcoming week. And for Sunday and Monday, we have a good bit of bank holidays for the Swissy, Euro, and Australian dollar. We do have some British pound high impact news at 4:30 a.m. for Monday, so we'll probably see some volatility in cable. And then going into Tuesday, we have British pound again and dollar index during New York session. And then Wednesday, we've got dollar index, both high impact core CPI and CPI for New York session, 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday. And then Thursday, we've got OPEC meetings. Friday, we've got more dollar index. So a good bit of high impact news releases this week. No FOMC, no NFP, nothing like that we need to stay away from. So ideal days to trade this week will again be, as usual, Tuesday through Friday, primarily Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But we do have the dollar index news here for New York session on Friday, so we could see a setup here for the majors. With that being said, though, let's go ahead. We'll jump over into the charts and take a look at what we see for this upcoming week. So last week we were still anticipating higher prices on dollar index. We failed to get back above 98.30 and we just continued to break down. So with that being said, now that we've closed below this low, that's indicating to me that we're likely going to see much lower prices on dollar index. So next downside objective for dollar index will be this 95.80 level. So keep in mind, we're switching our idea. We're not bullish dollar index anymore. Now we're bearish. Reasoning for being bearish is because we've broken a significant daily low here. This low was supporting all this price action, which we should have seen higher prices if this was bullish. Since we came all the way down, we wicked it here, left equal lows, and then Friday we closed below it. So now we've got an indication of a shift in market structure. So we're going to be moving to the bearish side. So we're going to be looking for sell setups on dollar index and then buy setups on foreign currency. So going into this week, I'm going to be looking to buy Euro, buy GBP USD, sell dollar CAD. That's how we're going to be looking at it. So it doesn't mean I'm trading all those pairs, but that's the overall technical analysis I have for each of those. So dollar index, look for continued expansion to the downside. We got 95.80, then 95.20. If we can get a continuation below 95.20, then we'll likely go into the 95 big figure and possibly come for these equal lows down here at 93.80. And then we also have some more equal lows down here at 93.20. So we've got a lot of sell side liquidity built up on dollar index. We've been trending higher for a while now. So now that we've got the shift in market structure, we'll likely see quick expansion, kind of like we've seen here. Quick expansion to the downside. Again, first objective is 95.80, 95.20, 95 big figure. And then longer term, we got 93.80, 93.20 down here. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead. We'll take a look at Euro dollar. And because we're bearish on dollar index, we want to see higher prices on Euro dollar. I don't like the fact that they left these equal lows here at 1.1110, but can't really do anything about it. We've now broken up above the buy side liquidity. We've closed above it. We're indicating that we want to push up higher. We're showing bullish institutional market structure. So the market broke up, made a higher high, came back down, retested the bearish ICT bullish order block, and continued to expand higher, clearing out the buy side liquidity above here. So still looking for higher prices on Euro dollar. Next upside objective is going to be that 1.14 big figure, so about 70 or so pips from where we closed on Friday. If we can get a continuation above that, we're looking for 14.50, 15 big figure, 15.50, and then ultimately long term 1.16 big figure. So we've got a lot of buy side liquidity built up above here. Again, I don't really like the equal lows that we left here, but indicating that we've closed above here, I don't really see them wanting to reject and come all the way back down. So overall, we're still bullish on, or we're switching to a bullish stance on Euro dollar, with the overall idea that dollar index is going to have a bearish week as well. You can see this clearer as well if you go on a weekly chart. So if you look at this, small body candles, and then we have one big body candle expanding to the upside, and then we've got all this liquidity resting above all these highs. So we'll likely see a continued expansion to the upside on Euro dollar for this upcoming week as well. All right, so if we look at British pound, we have since come all the way down, cleared out the liquidity below the bodies of these candles, and we have since started trading higher. So overall, we're still kind of in a relatively sideways market. But for the upside going into this week, I'm going to be looking for 1.28 big figure, and then if we can get a continuation above there, 28.50, and then ultimately 29 big figure, which is why I got this 28.90 level here, which was a previous ICT bullish order block that acted as support, broke through it, so when we get back to it, it should act as resistance. So that's how we're looking at that. But overall, we are switching to a bullish stance again on foreign currency. So I just want to make sure you guys are clear on that. So I'm going to be looking for buy setups on all of these pairs here. So euro dollar, British pound, looking for higher prices. And if you look where we're at now, 27.30 to 29 big figure, that's basically 170 pips. So we've got a good amount of range on the upside for these foreign currency pairs that we're looking at. So I think we'll have a pretty nice week in terms of number of pips being caught. So that's what we're looking at for British pound, still looking for higher prices on this. If we look at Euro GBP, notice how we've broken above this high, closed above it, came back down, retested it, and then we started to expand higher as well. So now we're going to be looking for a continuation to the upside above 1.9095. So really 91 big figure. And what that will likely mean for euro dollar is we're going to see a sharp movement higher for euro dollar and potentially a sideways to consolidating market and British pound. So British pound could trade lower while this trades higher, but ultimately we're going to be focusing on Euro USD buy setups because of the fact that Euro GBP here is showing a bullish market, and we've got buy side liquidity resting above us here and here as well. So that's what we're going to be looking at for Euro GBP, which lends to a better buy scenario for Euro dollar. All right, lastly, if we take a look at dollar CAD, I just want to kind of highlight this. This is perfect. So notice how we consolidated for a while, kept using the ICT bullish order block here, ended up running all the way up to our exact level of 35.66. None of these levels have been changed. So you guys can see the precision here. High of the week comes in at 35.65. Market then, once it hits that level, continues to expand down. And then notice what's happened Thursday and Friday as well. We've just got big, beefy, bearish candles taking out all the sell side liquidity. So next stop on the downside for dollar CAD is going to be this ICT bullish order block here. I'm curious to see whether or not they're going to find support here, but most likely I'm looking for just them to continue breaking through that and continue expanding lower. So we've got 1.3150, 1.31 big figure, and then 1.3080 as our downside objectives here on this. So we've got just over 200 pips on the downside for dollar CAD. Something I'll be looking for this week is we could potentially trade down into this ICT bullish order block here. We could find some support, short-term support, run back up into this ICT bearish order block. So if we move this down, got an ICT bearish order block here that comes in at 33.60, this up candle before the down move. So we could run after hitting the ICT bullish order block, we could find support just enough to take us back up into this resistance level, and then we could see the market to continue selling off from there and then take out the liquidity below here. So that'll be at the 31 big figure. So roughly if we capture 33.50 to 31 big figure, that's 250 pips or so. So overall, we should see pretty nice expansion on the markets this week in terms of volatility. So watch dollar CAD. The two that I'll be focused on this week primarily is going to be dollar CAD and euro dollar. So focusing on going short dollar CAD and going long on euro dollar. And I think with the news events that we have for this week as well, that'll lend nicely to these pairs and these setups that we're talking about here today. So that is pretty much it for the weekly technicals, guys. If you have any questions, drop a comment below this video. But again, just remember, we're switching our bias. We're now bearish dollar index, and we're looking for higher foreign currency. And the two pairs I'm focusing on this week in terms of setups and opportunities is sell setups on dollar CAD and buy setups on euro dollar. So with that being said, you guys have a good trading week, and I will talk to you next week on Sunday in the weekly technicals.